lot of wind noise. A lot of wind noise today. Have not worn this helmet in a while. Sorry if there's a whistle. I'm definitely hearing a whistle. Okay, so it's been like the first good riding day in a little while. But today I figured I would just talk to you guys kind of about safety first on the bike and how riding has made me a better driver in my car, which is good. I wasn't a bad driver, but I was a more aggressive driver, and this has definitely calmed me down a little bit. So I'm a big advocate for gear, but if you follow me either here on YouTube or on Instagram, you know that I'm not in full gear all the time. I can't lie about that. At a minimum, I have at least my long sleeves, a helmet, and my gloves. Very rarely, but sometimes will you catch me in just a hoodie, especially when it's super hot. But I now have more riding gear and jackets that are tailored for warmer weather and colder weather, which is nice. I am looking for actual riding jeans or jeans that have protection in them, because I currently pretty much stick to regular ass denim, and that's not great. On top of gear though, it's important to make sure that your bike is protected and safe. So before you especially if you're not riding every day, especially like right now when it's cold and raining all the time, and I'm not getting on the bike every single day, it's been even more important to make sure that I check my oil, my chain, my lights, my tires, whenever I do decide to go ride, especially on a little bit of a longer ride. Do your T-clocks. It might save your bike or save you a big mechanical issue. Basically, you just want to do whatever you can to make sure you have a safe ride with no mechanical issues and no accidents, and that if something happens, you are protected in that instance. Mechanical issues can not only just like leave you stranded and be a huge pain in the ass, some of them can be quite dangerous. If you were to blow a tire, you can lose a chain, it can whip the back of your leg, it can get stuck in a wheel. There are a lot of issues that can come along with the mechanics of the bike as well. It's not only about if you wreck. Also, it's just not fun to be stranded when you have a bike, and it's not easy to get home if you don't have a trailer and a truck and yada yada. Just make sure you're taking care of yourself and the bike. One thing you can do is put like crash cages around your bike, the important mechanical aspects of your bike, the engine. There are also frame sliders, which will protect your bike in the event of like a low side, or if you just take a tumble at a light or anything like that, something that's not huge and impactful. You might lose some plastic, but that's a lot easier and cheaper to replace than bigger engine parts. Another thing is just you have to be cognizant that on the bike you have no protective environment like you do in a car. There are no seat belts, there are no airbags, there is nothing around you to keep you safe. I can fall off this thing at any time. If I wreck, I'm going. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to stay with the bike. You are just more vulnerable and exposed, and you have to do whatever you can to make sure you're being as safe as possible. Some other aspects that kind of come into play when you're on a bike instead of in a car: you are less visible. You are a smaller moving object. You can be easily hidden, and for some reason people just tend to not see motorcycles. So you have to make sure you're doing everything you can. You have less stopping power when you get into an incident. It's easy to go down. We are much smaller and we weigh much less than any other vehicle on the road. Law of tonnage, we will lose every time. You don't want to take your bike head on with a vehicle or any immovable object, any object really on the road at all. So it's important that you sort of move away from traffic, that you identify your own risks, you mitigate them, you work around it. So to protect yourself a little more, move away from dangerous situations. And this could be traffic, it could be tailgaters, it could be anyone who is driving erratically. And stay away from road rage. Don't participate in it. Don't get ragey. You're on a bike. You're having a good day. Don't ruin your own day because of someone else's stupidity. And I am obviously by no means an expert. I'm still in my first year of riding, but I ride in town a lot. I ride around traffic a lot. And in my own experiences, I've had a few close calls, but aside from a handful of them, they could have been avoided if I had been driving more carefully or riding more carefully. But being on the bike and wanting to be safer on the bike and really seeing how other people ride in their cars around bikes has made me safer in my car as well. which is, definitely not a bad thing. Again, not that I was a bad driver necessarily. I did just drive a little too fast, a little too aggressively, and I had a road rage problem. But especially on a bike, man, again, you're on a bike. Someone cuts you off, let them go. You're gonna get back up to speed in fucking 2 seconds. You're gonna be fine. Like, just get home safely. But I do go a little slower in my car. I will take an extra second to look and make sure before I switch lanes or make any movements in traffic to make sure, just like head checks on the bike. Here's a copper. Popo. Probably should be rev bombing the trooper. I think just being more situationally aware in my car has been a big thing. Because even before I got on the bike, I would do head checks before, like turning and stuff in my car, because there are a lot of blind spots. You should do that, by the way, in your car. Realize that there are blind spots and you can't see everything in your mirrors. Are they about to turn? Even though it says no turn on red? There you go.
Stop breaking the law, asshole!
Now, I also definitely don't take the protective environment and seatbelts for granted anymore. I will admit, I didn't always wear my seatbelt, but now I do, so... One thing I've picked up from riding my motorcycle as well, and this is from YouTubers I've seen, obviously seeing the side of a vehicle at an intersection or a turn is a big indicator that you should probably be entering a more aware state. You should be, cautious of what's about to happen. One cool trick I've kind of picked up with that, which is also helpful in my car, is that when you see vehicles like that, it's kind of sometimes difficult to see if someone is moving. Look at the rims, look at their wheels. It's an easy way. Again, just a short, small little tip that I've picked up that's actually been very helpful, because it's given me indication if someone is actually stopped, or if they're still moseying forward, still undecided, or if they're just going. And space cushions. I have come to realize space cushions are not just important when you're on a two-wheeled tiny machine. It's also important in the car. You're never going to have too much room to stop, obviously. You can certainly have not enough room to stop, and as someone who has rear-ended someone in the past, you think I would have learned my lesson. But no, it took riding a bike to do that. And again, in my car, I'm just less ragey. I don't want to get in anyone's way. I don't want to accidentally screw up someone's day. And if something small happens on the road, it's a non-issue. If it's really a non-issue, it's a non-issue. I get picked on sometimes because of the heavy reliance on gear and not riding in certain weather and just wanting to be as safe as possible, but that's fine. You can pick on me all you want. I'm going to get home safely. That's all I want to do. It may not be cool. It may not be badass. It may not be typical biker mentality. But I don't see the point in riding recklessly and not trying to make it home safely. I want to keep riding my bike. I want to protect my bike, and I want to protect myself so I can keep doing this and keep enjoying this. So if you ride safe. If you're in a car, drive safe. Watch out for motorcycles. Most of us aren't out there trying to ride like assholes or cut up or get in your way. We're just trying to enjoy our ride. Enjoy the thing that brings us a little bit of joy. I love this, and I want to keep doing it. I want to keep riding. I want to be healthy and safe enough to do so. If I wreck, I will put myself out of commission for a while, and I won't be able to do the things that I love. What's the good in that? God, that's brave. Dude waited and went right in the middle of the intersection. There are crosswalks everywhere. If you're still with me, I appreciate it. I appreciate anyone who subscribes, comments, and talks to me, wants to be my friend, and pays attention to what I'm doing. I do really think that's cool that some people are engaging a little bit with me now, which is awesome. As always, if you want to ride or team up for a vlog, I'm around. Thank God traffic has slowed down, but losing some light, so I'm gonna make my way back home and just enjoy this last couple minutes of my ride. So until next time, bye. Tis a motor pickle. Hi viz, son. Hi viz. No, he's talking to somebody. Man. So one place in town I kind of get to play. Sometimes I forget how cool it is and it hits me out of nowhere. This really has been kind of like a lifelong dream, and it's so cool to be riding my motorcycle right now. Heck yeah.